Hello everybody, welcome back. Now I have, some stuff I want to share with you about, you know, some, what I would consider bad manners, more or less. Uh, the way I was raised, kids, if you take your kids into a restaurant, they are not to be screaming and crying and hooping and hollering and behaving like a pack of little savages. This week, it was either Monday or Tuesday, I forget which, but it was definitely before St. Patrick's Day, which was on Wednesday. Um, Tony and I went and ate at a local restaurant. Matter of fact, it was Ruby Tuesdays. It's not the restaurant's fault, and I don't blame them for this. But seriously, the part that drove us crazy was Tony and I were sitting there, and the theater sat behind Tony, my husband. These three people was two ladies and a guy, and the younger couples, I'd say the kid was about a year, maybe year or two old. There, when they sat the kid down, it immediately, and it was a girl. The kid immediately started screaming like they were beating this kid. And I mean, it was annoying. Granted, I know Tony and I should have probably got up and moved or asked them to move, or, even got the manager and said, could you make these people leave? Seriously, because we're not paying to sit here and listen, to this kid scream the whole time. Well, they took her out, and you would think they would, the dad would have jumped up and said, okay, you know what, never mind, we'll just, you know, we'll just leave or something. I mean, because, seriously, that's rude to anybody else that's sitting there, and that's my opinion. Look, if you're going to take your kid in a restaurant, and the kid starts being bad, just take the kid and leave. That's what my parents did to us when we, decided to act bad. I mean, they would, if we're out in public, they would pay for the meal, get it to go, and they would leave. But of course, we would get the snot spanked out of us when we got home, but that's what would have happened, and that's what they should have done, but they didn't. They made us sit there and listen to that kid holler. Granted, we could have, like I said before, could have moved or whatever. But yeah, look, people, if you're going to take your kid or kids in a restaurant and they can't behave in a restaurant, you might want to reconsider. I mean, especially, if they're old enough to know better, which is, in my opinion, 6 months to a year old, they should, if they're going to start throwing a fit, just spank them on their butt and say, look, you need to be quiet, or do whatever you feel you need to do. But don't sit there and force other people to listen to your kid hollering, okay? I'm going to pause here because I'm going to do the actual restaurant review for Ruby Tuesdays. It's got nothing to do with that kid hollering, okay? So hang on, and I'll do that review here in a second, okay?